Hi, and welcome to another episode of Sustainment TV. I'm your host, David McDonald, and before we get into today's show, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It will help us to continue to grow and improve upon what we do. For today's video, I wanted to feature an interview that I was able to have with someone who is no stranger to the world of entertainment. She has appeared on stages across the nation on multiple tours. She has been featured in motion pictures and she has appeared on television. I hope you enjoyed today's interview with comedian and actress Smallfire. Our Sustainment TV, as promised, we have one of the OGs in comedy. She's an actress, she's a comedian. Welcome to Sustainment TV, Smallfire. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. I am thankful that we were able to make this happen. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. How long have you been doing what you're doing? Show business, comedy, however you want to.
Okay.
How long have you been doing what you're doing?
Well, I began in 1992. I was in college, and so as of right now, it's like 32 years and some change. It'll be 32 years November of 2024. It'll be 32. It's kind of hard for me to believe, being that I'm 21 years old, but it's just like something I'm trying to just figure out how God did that.
Nice. So now, and I mentioned even from the intro, comedy and actress, is it safe to say comedy is your favorite or your first love? I mean, how did you
definitely
how did you get into acting also?
Well, comedy is definitely my first love, and that's something I hope I'm doing the rest of my life. Like, if I get old, I don't think I will, but if I get old, like, just get me out there on the stage. If you got to roll me out, whatever you got to do, pick me up, put me on the bed out there, whatever you got to do. I feel like this is something I would never lose love for. The acting thing, I guess, as a comedian, what they teach you, around the other comedians when you first started, like if you do, the more movies you do or the more TV you do, basically it ups your money. You get paid more dollars because you get, you expand your fan base. So that was something I got into when I was in my earlier career. It's something I inspired to do more. But in the 90s, I did more acting than I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I just been loving the stage thus far.
You mentioned that you came into comedy in the 90s. I mean, some would consider late 90s, early 2000s like the golden years, the Def Comedy Jam, all of those things. Who are the mentors in the business that inspired you?
Well, actually, when I first started, Bruce, took me under his wing and basically taught me how to handle the crowd, how to control the crowd, how to make sure nobody steals the show. Because, back then, I was working comedy clubs a lot. And other clubs, nightclubs. So there's a lot of hecklers. Once they get drunk, they feel like, hey, I can do that.
Yeah.
And so they yell out and try to take over the show, whatever. So they taught me how to handle that, how to keep the audience attention, how to keep the performance strong. So Bruce did a lot in teaching me those things. Now, back then, I did get on Def Comedy Jam. So it was a thing where you had to go all the way to New Jersey. And they had the hardest club in the world. And if you could perform that night, they had auditions for Def Comedy Jam. If you can make that audience give you a standing ovation, they will automatically put you on Def Comedy Jam.
Okay.
So, hey, I got a flight, went up there. I stayed up there about a month, just learning the, atmosphere. I went a couple of times without performing just to see how they were and study them. I worked on my accent because I had a real thick Mississippi accent back then. So I was like, okay, I got to slow down because if they don't hear what I'm saying, they can't laugh. And so I kind of worked on that while I was there. And then finally, it's like, you ready? So I went, signed myself up for that night. And it's funny because Chris Tucker was there that night and found out we both went to high school in Decatur, Georgia. We was like, oh, man, you got this, girl. You got this. So, my confidence went to the roof.
Yeah.
When he told me, he was like, girl, you got this. You can do it. So I went up there and slammed it and ended up on the tour.
Obviously, technology advances and whatnot, are different, from when you came in. So what would you say are some of the challenges in the industry that, people, may not have faced when you first came in versus now? And then what kind of challenges have always been there?
the challenge in the beginning was just, I would say, organizing the time. Organizing where you're going to be, how to get from one city to the next, because I was funny when I first started, but I didn't have a big enough name for them to pay for my travel. It's like, Earl, you funny, we'll book you, but we'll let you open up for so-and-so, but you got to get here. So for me, that was my challenge again. Okay, I gotta get there. I gotta get there. If I get there, I can get on stage, So that was my problem in the very beginning. Now, once I did Def Jam and got a name, that wasn't an issue anymore. The issue for me now, definitely social media, because it's like, if you're not popular on there, you're not really getting booked as much. I know I'm not in the club or the comedy club arena. Now, churches, I'm still booked every week. But that's, a lot of that I get because of word of mouth. It has nothing to do with social media. But the money I want, I know I got to get, more involved in social media. So I just got teamed up with some people that's going to help me with that. And I'm actually getting ready to sign with some people to help me get back into the movies and stuff, just so I can have a well-rounded career, what I envision. So it's like, okay, I did the comedy hump. I did that, got through the pandemic. Now it's time to go to the next level. So I'm getting a team together for that.
Okay. So you're definitely you're evolving to how the industry wants you to be in terms of, I guess, like you're saying, that social media push. So with all that being said, then do you see yourself, or maybe you have already, do you see yourself being like an organizer or maybe a producer of comedy shows or tours or movies? Do you see yourself working on the production side at all?
No. That definitely not my gift. Now, God will give me vision sometimes of what he want me to do. Mm-hmm. But like I said, that's where the team come in. Just finding the people who can help me execute what God has shown me. But that's definitely not what I'll be doing. Now, I might have the vision for, this is what we need to do. These are the cities we need to go to. This is what we need to do in those cities. But I definitely won't be the one organizing.
All right. What advice, someone wanting to, to break into comedy, what advice would you be able to offer them? What would you say?
Well, and this is me personally. I changed my whole show, and I know you're going to probably get to that question, but this kind of bleeds into it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
But like, even with me changing my name and changing my content to clean and family comedy, the reason I did it is because something God showed me. And that was, when people are laughing, they don't have a filter. They can't even block what goes into their spirit. Laughter is like music. When people are laughing, their spirits are wide open. And basically told me, look, you're responsible for what you deposit into the spirit while you have them open. And I was like, whoa. So that's why I changed what I was saying. I changed my content. I changed what I was saying on stage. So for anybody getting into the business, I would want them to know that, that they're going to be held accountable for whatever they say. That way they can start off with that conviction, knowing, hey, look, this is not just entertainment. This is something go way deeper than entertainment. What we say is going to go with these people the rest of their lives. And so that's something I would want them to know.
No, I mean, that's good. I mean, having a moral compass, and then and further than that, having, spiritual conviction. And like you said, I was going to ask you the small fry to small fire branding, rebranding. So yeah, check that off the list. But no, the
name. Well, I left you something. I didn't explain the name change. I didn't explain the content. So I left you something. Yeah. But the name change was later. I changed the content in the late 90s, like around 99, when I did Comic View. That was like my introduction to that. When I did Comic View, BT Comic View, Ricky Smiley was the host. And so I did my gospel jokes for that. And they, kind of let them know, okay, my content has changed. So it was around 2001, 2002, guys started talking about changing the name. And I was like, hey, wait now. I done made some sacrifices already. Now I left Def Jam for you. He's like, well, no, I need you to cut some more. I need you to cut that name and go a whole new name. I want you to be that fire. I called you to be the fire. And I'm like, dude, You know, this how me and God talk. So I'm like, dude, man. I said, but look at what all I did to build this name. You know what he told me?
What's that?
He said, good job. Now let me build one. I was like, what? He said, you built that one, let me build this one. I said, all right, you got it. And so immediately I changed the name, and I lost some deals because of that, because people wanted to be able to, you know, promote the name Small Fry. And so when they tried to bring me to the table and explain why I should wait, and I was like, no, God told me to do it. I heard him. I said, I choose him over what you doing.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can't roll with me on that, then we can cancel this contract. You know, we can slice this up right now because I'm staying with God. I can't act like I didn't hear him. I heard him. You know, so, and so I did. I lost some contracts on that. So that was fine with me. I'm still moving.
What are 3 words that would describe you? 3 words.
3?
Yeah.
Well, I'm cute. Funny. And anointed.
Okay. That's
not in that order. Not in that order. But yeah,
right.
If I had to name 3.
I know one of the questions I had, are you planning on being in any other movies? And I know you said that's something that you and your team are plotting a course on that. So what would you say is your greatest strength and weakness?
As far as comedy?
No, I mean just it could be in your craft, or it could be just in general.
Okay. I would like to think my strength is keeping my word. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I like knowing that you can count on that. I like, if I tell you I'm gonna be somewhere, I'm gonna be there. I don't care if it's having to do with comedy, or if it's just to take you to the mall, if it's just a prayer, if it's just let's go out to eat, if it's just sit down and chop it up, if it's, you know, whatever it is. I like to be able to say, I think that's one of my strengths. When I tell you something, you can count on it. And if for whatever reason I can't make it, you definitely gonna get a phone call, you know, trying to reschedule or something. I think that's one of my strengths, and one of the reasons I have longevity in the business. One of my weaknesses, it all comes back to that social media. It's so new to me. Oh my God. Like my children, they be on it. I'm like, teach me. But show me. Because I just posted yesterday and I was just like, oh, I did it. He was like, Mom, yeah, you did it. So it's like the roles were reversed. Like they encouraging me, Mama, do it again. Do some more. You got content. Put it out there. I'm like, because I used to fear people stealing my jokes. I'm like, if I put these jokes out there, somebody gonna get them. And I looked online, like they doing it anyway. So it might as well come from my page.
Yeah.
You know, and just let people know who did it. You know, even if it's already, some stuff is already out there. And I told the lady, I got teamed up with. I said, go ahead and put it out there anyway, because people need to know not only who did it, but they need to know how to reach me, because people will post my jokes and post me doing the jokes. So they know who I am, but they don't put down, this is how you reach her to book her. So I'm like, so I'm like, the content that's out there, let's repackage it, send it out, and put my booking information. So when people see it, they'll be like, oh man, she'd be great for this or great for that. I want them to be able to go right to the bottom of that screen and go, plump, call me, and I'm there, you know?
Yeah, they're chopping those performances up, putting out those little 3 and 4 minute videos here and there, and I know
they chopping mine all the way up. I'm like, dog.
And I know
I'm getting famous though.
You mentioned the joke stealing. It's like I just laugh and shake my head up. The whole Cat Williams thing. I'm sure everyone has a portion of that. So
yeah, some things is just obvious, you know.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of movies in general, do you have I guess a favorite genre of movie you could see yourself being more, most effective in, or hey, this is, if I had to choose a type of movie, this is what I want to be in? Do you have a preference?
When it comes to movies, no. When it comes to sitcoms, yes. I kind of envision myself more in sitcoms, and I think that kind of transfers to movies for me.
Okay.
I think a situational comedy will be my style. A little country cousin of somebody, a main character or something like that, just to break the ice and get on in there.
Okay, sitcom, yeah. So obviously when, this February 2024, still early in the year. Do you have any tours coming up? Or you have like a grand master plan for this year? I mean, what should we expect from Small Fire this year?
Well, one tour is in motion, but it's very short. It's around Mother's Day. One of the major promoters in all of entertainment is doing this Mother's Day tour, and it's 3 days. It's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing one leg of the tour. He has at least, I want to say at least, it might be 4, but at least 3 other comedians in different cities that same weekend hosting other tours.
Oh, okay.
This man has 4 tours going on at one time on the same date.
Wow.
Right. And so I'm excited that he chose me. He said, I've never hired a woman to host my shows for me. He said, but what I'm seeing you doing is what I want you to, I gotta have you, I want you to part of this. So he let me pick, the kind of cities I wanted to be involved with. And I was like, yeah, because I love going back to Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Atlanta, so I was like, I want that one. Then the other one I'll be doing in St. Louis. So to be on that, and I just know if I represent on this, he's gonna put me on some other stuff, whether it's gospel or secular, because I can handle both. But a lot of people don't know I can handle both, because most of the time they see me now as gospel stuff.
Okay. All right.
So I'm really excited about that too.
So so I guess in reference to your content, what's your creative process like? Like say trying to come up with some new material. I know a lot of people pull from life situations. Some people kind of get in a writing zone and just think of hypothetical stuff, and some people even do a combination. I mean, what's your creative process like?
Well, for me, new content hasn't been a focus, because it kind of happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. I'm a creator on stage. Like my energy is mainly when I'm with the audience. It's like I'll do something I used to do, and then I don't want to say out of nowhere. It's like God has just started giving me improv to go with it. Like I just keep adding on to it, and they just keep going. I'm like, oh, we still rolling. Oh, and so before you know it, I just created 5 more minutes on stage. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, and I keep it in there. And as you know, over the years, it's just grown and grown and grown. So now I have like at least 2 hours of material.
Okay.
When most shows only require like 25 to 30 minutes.
So that it sounds like what you're saying, you have an ability to kind of almost like freestyle rap, like freestyle comedy.
Well, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that was my style, because I will have a new show every week, and I believe it's going to develop into that because I'm sharpening that skill.
Okay.
But yeah, like while you up there, you can kind of just flow. When you feel the audience, you can just kind of flow with it. Mm-hmm. And then every now and then, you're gonna see something in the audience that you have to say something. As a comedian, the audience is expecting you to acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, that's considered new material, because some things that come out you never said before.
All right. So, okay. Last question for you. I guess if you had to say specifically what you would want, what kind of impact do you want to have on the entertainment world or the world in general? What kind of impact you want to have?
I think my role is to establish a new standard for content. It's like sometimes I think of stuff and God's like, good and well, you can't put that out there. Like I think of you, like, you can't say it. He's like, it's funny, but you can't say it because where I'm taking you.
Yeah. So
I really believe he has me in a role of resetting the standard.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, like I was saying, what people are getting when they're laughing, and have people to see ministry more so as a laughter rather than just entertainment. Because I know laughter is to see comedy as a ministry and not just entertainment, because it brings healing. It does so many different things. It brings healing to the body, to the mind, to the spirit, to the soul. Laughter is really, really, it's a tool God uses often. often to give people, I mean, it delivers from depression. It does so many things. So I think one of my roles is to bring in the knowledge to, and let people understand how powerful it really is.
That's good. That's good. Okay, what are your final thoughts for our viewers? Got any final thoughts for us?
Yeah. It was nice talking to y'all. I'll see y'all later. Nah, just kidding. Final thoughts. Thank y'all for listening, and I hope y'all learned something. And if you have any advice for me, you can always email me. Like some things I could do to enhance what I'm doing. Because I don't have it all. I don't have all the answers. I definitely don't have all the gifts, and I'm finding out more of that too. That all the gifts work together. Everybody has something to bring to you. Everybody has a perspective that you never had before. So I'm always open to learn. I'm more open to learning new things. Like somebody might have something they can add to one of the jokes they saw me do on stage. Like, man, if you say this, this could take them to another level. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm open for things like that. So I just tell the audience I welcome you, to add thoughts. If you have comments, to add. My email address is comediansmallfire@gmail.com.
All right. Yeah, we're definitely gonna in the video description. We'll definitely have all your. I'll get all your social media and
cool
contact information. It'll definitely be listed.
Thanks.
All right, Sustainment TV. We want to thank Small Fire for giving us some of her valuable time. I'm sure you'll definitely be seeing more from her in the future. Checking social media out for it. She'll probably come into a city, close to you. So
that's for sure.
Thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it.
Bye, y'all.
I hope you enjoyed that interview. Please feel free to check out the video description to find all of her information, to include social media and contact and booking information. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.